You can't judge someone who's not of Christ. Like, they don't know any different. Like, how are you at all supposed to know what truth is?
It's important for us to hold on to love, not judgment.
Do something that refreshes you. Do something that's fun, you know?
I love you.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't love you any less because of what you've done. I love that idea of meeting that practical need before trying to meet the spiritual need. Okay. But I do want to circle back just quickly to that whole idea of judgment, and because it can be a trap we fall into, that, you know, when you've been in the Christian bubble or, you know, you've gotten your life on track, to then see other people and things they might do and share with you, it can be hard not to judge that behaviour.
Yeah.
I know personally I've been in an experience where a friend told me something heartbreaking that she'd done that I, you know, personally don't agree with. And she's like, I was scared for you to know because I know where you would stand on that. And I was able to just go, okay, Jesus is about love. So I just stood there, I'm like, I love you.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't love you any less because of what you've done. I was like, I wish that it was different, but I'm going to support you and love you through this, you know? And I think, you know, it's important for us to hold on to love, not judgment. What's your thoughts on that? Or have you ever been in an experience like that where you've had to?
I think it, like for me, comes to the thing, we come to Jesus so broken with so much mess. You know, Jesus in his pureness and his goodness, in earthly terms, has every single right to judge us. You know, we have literally turned our back against him, but he came to us and showed us mercy, forgiveness, and grace. You know, who are we then to say, no, sorry, that's not good enough. That's not palatable for you to share with me. That's wrong, get away, you know? Like, we ourselves are, you know, the greatest sinners that, you know, when people come to us, I think it's just being there for them. And sadly, the reality is, you know, in the past that Christianity has gotten the rap based on, you know, past actions, that it's a judgmental and that we exclude people and we shun people and all that, you know. But I think that's also a cool opportunity for us, you know, to share and practically show God's goodness in that, hey, God isn't, you know, going to shun you when you come to him with your brokenness, and we need to emulate that as well.
I think this is a really important distinction, again, between evangelism and discipleship, like we talked about in the last episode, because you can't judge someone who's not of Christ. Like, they don't know any different.
Yeah.
Like, how are you at all supposed to know what truth is?
Yeah.
That's it.
And so it's like, of course, like, who wouldn't be making things that we don't agree with, making decisions that we don't agree with? But, you know, it's different if someone's in the church. Like, if you were still doing drugs, we couldn't be like, oh, that's okay.
It's all
man.
good. Yeah.
You know
do
what I
you.
mean? Like, that's not harmful, or, you know.
And it's out of love, that.
Yeah, so there's not judgment outside of the church, you know. That's where the love takes place, and that's where scripturally Jesus, you know, met with the sinners and everything like that. But yeah, it's that distinction.
I think as well, like what you said there of, you know, judgment and that, and if we talk like that within the church world as well, because in the church world there is also, you know, we're not just judging non-believers. Let's be honest, as believers we
The
judge
church
each other.
isn't perfect either.
Exactly.
Humanness.
Exactly. We're all humans. We all make mistakes on a minute-by-minute basis, second by second, you know. I think also the distinction within the church world that correction, when done in love, isn't judgment. You know, saying, hey, I want the best for you. This isn't the best for your life. That's not being a judgment. I think that's a good distinction for us to know as believers, that, you know, we have people around us that when they call us up on stuff, they actually want him better. We saw Jesus doing that as well, you know. The woman at the well, he came to her and he forgave her and said, but go sin no more. Yeah. He called her higher. He called her to greater things, you know. And I think it's also so important for us as believers to know and understand that, you know. It took me a while to learn and understand that, but it's such a good thing to actually like wrap, you know, it was so beneficial for me.
Maddie, how did you work that out? Because for me, I don't call, at the moment, being honest, I don't call people out.
Yeah.
Really. Like, I mean, if I saw someone smoking bongs or something in church, you know what I mean? It's pretty, it's pretty obvious, but that conversation can be awkward.
Yeah.
You can get it, I'm sure you can get it wrong easily.
I thought evangelism was
And then, like, if your heart is in the wrong, all that kind of stuff.
I think, like you said, I've seen heart. Are you wanting to call this person out so you can, I'm going to drop this on them, I'm going to, like, you know, have my sweet moment of calling them out? always I have a genuine care and desire that I actually want the best for you. This isn't the best. Like, I love you so much, I don't want to see you go down this road. And that was Jesus to us. He saw the road we were going down. He's like, I don't want you to go down this road. And another one as well that I think goes hand in is relationship. If I've only ever spoken to you once, I only know you for 1 month or whatever, and barely know you, and I'm coming across calling you out.
Matt's about to call Jesse.
Hey, afterwards, buddy. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know me as a person. So to now come call me out on something, yes, we maybe believes in that, but you don't know me. You're going to create more offense and more of a division in that sense that you're actually doing more harm than you are good.
Totally.
You know?
Can I just piggyback on what you're saying? There's this quote, and it's somewhat like can relate to this. It's not what you say, but how you say it. I think for me as a Christian, I've always been like pushed, like by stopped to tell somebody in my world because I know the intention of their heart, but I was so scared of their judgment or so scared of their reaction. But in reality, they actually had something worse that gone on and they were able to share it with me and relate. And I think it was the way they approached it, and it was such a loving way, and it was like man, like I'm human too. Let me show you, let me tell you, and just, and no reaction, be like, dude, I just want this for you because I know I've been down that road and it's not the best. And so I want this best for you. And the past is the past, but who you are in the future is better. So just leave that because your calling is greater than the mistake you had. So pick yourself up, let me help you. Let's keep going.
I think our secret weapon in all of it, though, is the Holy Spirit, right? Would we all agree? You can't live this kind of life, stepping out and sharing your faith if you're not listening to the Holy Spirit and have that relationship with Jesus yourself. So based on this discussion, which has been amazing, what would you say to someone that's maybe watching and struggling, going, I don't know how to build genuine connection or relationship outside of my church bubble? What would your encouragement to them be?
My thought is, all of us in our humanness, we like having fun. We all love having fun. And God's designed us to go and have fun. So just go do those things that are fun. If it's sport, that's great. If it's the surf, that's great. Whatever those things are. And look for the opportunities in your fun. Because bringing Jesus into your fun makes it even more fun because he's there.
Yeah. Everyone's having a good time. Everyone wants to talk about everything.
So
that would be my piece of advice. Just go have fun. Bring him with you.
And also on top of that, pray and Holy Spirit, okay, this is the moment. And he will let you know in the moments you have fun and be like, yeah, cool, it's the time to share. This is not the time to share. And just recognizing when that is.
Sometimes you do have to be intentional and cultivate it like a plant. You know what I mean? You have to space out time where you're like, hey, let's meet up and do this. Because life gets so busy that it can be really easy. And I'm so guilty of this, of never making time for those intentional relationships. But sometimes, and you have to actually care about the person as well. It's not just a project, but making time to plant that seed and then build upon that and check in on them. How you doing? Did you have any questions about last time we talked? If you're in that space, because sometimes people don't want to bring it up again, but they still are wondering.
Yeah. I think what you said, they're just being intentional. I think that's just to be intentional, and when we interact with people, intentionally, being human, being those basic skills of just connecting with people, being intentional of, sometimes we can make the focus on ourselves, but asking them about themselves, and building that is building relationship and refreshing you. And also, like you said, do something that refreshes you, do something that's fun,
Totally.
Don't, if you hate coffee, don't, always catch up with coffee with people, do something that you can connect with and bond over there that just segues that in,
And it's a beautiful space, new relationships, and it's not always a one-way street. It's not just that we're trying to get them saved. It's I have found personally that there is such beauty both ways.
Yeah.
And there's give and take, and and you're building that genuine connection. Exactly.
Ways.
It's what God designed us to have, right? Yeah. Great conversation, guys.
So good.
Come on, dude.
I'm sorry, Joe.
I'm going to walk behind someone so you don't see my double denim.
What's wrong with double denim?